last activity. So identify, I want you guys to identify from this given fractions. I want you guys to identify which one is less than and which one is greater than, or which one is equal to which. And also, I want you guys to think of a scenario that happened today that can relate to a fraction form. For instance, I can say that I am one out of the 21 students in my classroom, in my class earlier. So 1 and out of, oh sorry, that's, oh, it covered everything. So, and the keyword of out of is the fraction bar. So 1 out of 21 students, this is the total amount, so it goes on the bottom. Remember, the total amount always goes on the bottom of your fraction. Out of my 21 students in my class earlier. So this is the fraction form of that sentence, and the diagram is gonna be given right here. Since I said 1 out of 21 and there's 21 boxes right here, or I should say rectangles, then I'll be shading 1 because that's on my numerator right here. So I'll be shading 1 box. And now this represents that this is the diagram of that sentence. Okay, now I would like you guys to try it on your own. And you can email it to me on villamarj@gmail.com. So come back, pause the video, come back when you're ready to discuss the fractions over here. So I'm assuming that you guys have already paused the video. And now let's discuss about these fractions. So the answer for this one is greater than, because they have the same denominator, right? So we have 415 and 115. Since they have the same denominator, in order to determine or identify which one is greater than or less than, just look at your numerator. Since 4 is greater than 1, we can conclude that 415 is indeed greater than 115. Okay? And what about 314 and 3/4? Which one is, let's 314 and 3/4. Let's first make sure that they have the same denominator. So 314 and 1/4. Oh, 3/4. since they don't have the same denominator, the simplest way to make them have the same denominator is to multiply their denominators top and bottom to the other fraction. So for this fraction we would multiply 14, and for this fraction we would multiply 4. 4 times 3 is 12, and 4 times 14 is 56. 3 times 14 is 42, and we already did 4 times 14, which is 56. So which one is greater than? Yes, it's 3/4. So 3/4 is greater than, oh, yep, 3/4 is greater than 3/14, or you can say 3/14 is less than 3/4. Okay, how about 2/5 and 1/2? Yes, of course. 1/2 is greater than 2/5, or 2/5 is less than 1/2. Why? Okay, let's make them the same denominator. So again, the same method earlier, multiply the denominator to the other fraction. So multiply 2/2 to this one, and multiply 5/5 to this one. So we get 4/10 and 5/10. Yes, that's why, since 4 is less than 5, we conclude that 2/5 or 4/10 is less than 1/2 or 5/10. What about the last one? Are they less than, greater than, or equal to one another? Let's try it by using the method that we've been using. So 1/2 and 2/4. First make them have the same denominator. Since 4 is divisible by 2, we can, or what I mean by divisible by 2 is 4 can be divided by 2. So, or you know what, let's just use the same method that we've been using earlier. So multiply 4 times 4, denominator and numerator, and then 2 on this side. So 4 times 1 equals, let me delete this, 4 times 1 equals 4, and 4 times 2 equals 8. 2 times 2 equals 4, and 4 times 2 equals 8. Yes, they are indeed equal. And the reason why is, let's do the method that we used earlier when we were doing equivalence fraction. So we have 1/2 and 2/4. If you notice that if you multiply 2/2 to 1/2, you'll eventually get 2/4. That is why they are equivalent.